Hello again. What a terrific day here at Share. At the end of our day, we have some very special guests that will deliver a speech tomorrow, so we are kindly inviting you to join us. I have together with me at this moment Roberto Beraldo, who is the president of Italian Chamber of Architects, or from Venice. I invite you to tell us more about the structure, and also Alkis Diakis, who is the president of Cyprus Architects Association. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for accepting our invitation to join this event. I will start this discussion asking you to tell us some words. How do you have you been to Romania before, and how do you see how do you position to Romanian Chamber of Architects? Maybe if you had any collaborations before or not, and how do you feel right now in Romania?
I haven't been to Romania before. It's my first time here. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you to Florin and all the Share family for inviting us here, and for today's event and for tomorrow's presentation as well. I think through Share it's a great opportunity to network, to connect with other architects, especially with the Romanian Chamber of Architects. The Cyprus Architects Association is very happy to expand, to open its network, to promote architecture, Cypriot architecture abroad. So when we spoke with Florin, he gave us the opportunity through Share to bring the state awards, the Cyprus State Awards of Architecture, in this event of Share in Romania. So we were happy to participate. With the help of the Share staff and the associates, we prepared an amazing exhibition of the State Architecture Awards. So the State Architect, and I would like to invite everybody to come to the exhibition to take a look. I believe, although Cyprus is a very small island, it's a very small country, the level of architectural design is very high. So, and we try to promote this high level through different methods. One of the methods is the State Architecture Awards. We have, of course, a lot of architectural competitions. And the State Architecture Awards are given every 2 years. So every 2 years, an architect has the honor to be promoted and to win the award, the State Architecture Award. And we have different categories. It's a category for an outstanding project. We have the category for housing development, and then we have the category for younger architects. And then we have commendations as well. But we want to add categories, maybe sustainable design, or even renovations, so that we can promote other methods of development in the future, green methods. So once again, thank you. I'm happy to be here. And yeah, I don't know if Roberto, you would like to say something as well?
Yes, I'm very happy to be here. It's a great honor to be here with the ShareX family. And when Florin speak me about ShareX, I was very happy to participate. And probably we will, not probably, for sure, we have a ShareX the next 23rd and 24th of November in Venice. Anyway, I'm not the president of Italian Architects, I'm the president of the Architects of Venice, the city, the metropolitan city of Venice. So I represent 3,050 architects in Veneto region, exactly the region of the old town Venice. Anyway, we will share this event with UAV, University of Venice, that's the very famous school of architecture in Venice, and with the most beautiful museum of Mestre, that M9 museum of the 20th century. And it's a great project by Sauerbruch Hatton that was built maybe in 2019. and it's a very great and beautiful building. Anyway, our Chamber of Architects promote the restoration of building in Venice, because we have the main part of our architects that lives and work in the old town in Venice. We have in our chamber there are 3,000 architects more or less, and 1,000 architects live in Venice and work in Venice. It's a very complicated town,
very condensed community.
Very condensed community, because the old architecture, the ancient architecture, it's a very big quantity of buildings in the town, so it's very complicated to work, and the instance of regular restorations are very complicated with the relation with the public offices. Above all, the instance of the conservation by the Sovrintendenza, Italian office is Sovrintendenza, and everything is very complex in conservation of buildings. Probably the relation between Cyprus and Venice is water. The problem, the relation with the water that in Venice, it's a strong problem with the height levels of the tides, and also in these days we have the problem of the high tide, so we have the new dam systems, very well known in the world, Mose, that go up when the water come up.
Yes.
What is the percent from architects that working in restoration, and what is the percent that is working on new projects? Do you have any statistically?
It's a good question. It's a very good question, because the main part of Venetian architects are working on historical buildings. So modern architects between Venetian architects are not so easy to study and to produce, because we have a very strong quantity of buildings, old buildings. And big quality, naturally, because we have a lot of Palladio villas and very famous buildings in Venice along Canal Grande. We have more or less 1,000 big buildings.
Yes, I have recently visited Venice, and I have seen a massive campaign of restoration that is taking place right now. Almost every building facing the Canal Grande is being restored or in the process of being restored, which is...
Yes, it's true. Anyway, public administration give a lot of grants.
Okay, so it's a public initiative to support this.
Yes. And we also have a special law to keep Venice. So they start 30 years ago to escape the canals again after 2 centuries, because during the day, twice a day, when the tide come in the lagoon and go out, the earth of the canals go up. So it's necessary every 20 years to clean the canals, and when they clean the canal, they take off the water with a particular structure, and they make restoration of the foundations.
Of the canal, yes.
Yes.
If you look at the subject of restoration, which I think is a very interesting subject, we have also, if you consider water, we also have the issue of restoration in Cyprus, because we have many archaeological sites, we have many ancient monuments as well. But in terms of modern architecture, back to your question, if the percentage of architects that are dealing with modern architecture and restoration architecture, what it is, in Cyprus it's much less. The restoration architects are much less. It's a much smaller number than the architects that are building new architecture. And I think this is an issue of how we can look. You know, if we want Cyprus to be part of the European Union, we need to follow new information from the European Union. So, for example, through the Green Deal, you have the new European Bauhaus. The new European Bauhaus says one of the three core values is reuse, restoration and reuse, sustainability, for example. So we have approximately around, in Cyprus, approximately around 35,000 abandoned residential housing units. 35, yes. So it's a very large number, and at the same time, we have a housing problem. Not enough, we have too many people asking, young generation that are asking for houses, and we have too many old buildings that cannot be inhabited. So I think it's a good time now where incentives can be given, and it's being given now either by the government or the chamber of the Technical Chamber of Architects to go back and start restoring, start reusing buildings, older buildings, so that we can let's say maintain the architectural character of a city. So if you expand the city outwards,
without preserving its legacy.
Yes, exactly. If you don't preserve its legacy and demolish all the time and rebuild new, you waste a lot of material, a lot of energy.
Culture.
Exactly.
Culture, which is
exactly, and you lose culture. And you know, we have many important modernist buildings in Cyprus that we're starting to lose. So we're trying to find ways to find incentives to restore and show and bring back to life these older buildings, not only to show them as part of our history, but also to house the younger generation.
Yes.
So this is I think something that we share, you know, between us. So it's important.
What I find very interesting is the following conference that will come in 20 days in Venice, which is focused on research and innovation. How did this conference have been perceived by your colleagues in the context of Venice? This conference that is, as I know, the first in SHARE portfolio that is focused especially on research and innovation.
Research and innovation in the restoration process is very important in the restoration projects. First of all, we are very lucky in Venice because our university has a very long history about teaching restoration. So we had great teachers in our history like Manfredo Tafuri that teach the history of architecture. So we have a very strong part of architects in the university that are interested in restoration. But speaking about SHAREX, innovation and research, it's important in the restoration project because day by day it's necessary to find new technologies, new approach to the restoration, that it's an approach that doesn't violate the building, above all in the new structures, implants, about heating, climatization, electric parts, and it's very important to find to find technologies that are very invisible, very
integrated, you know,
integrated, perfectly integrated in the buildings. So, for example, we have now a very good example of restoration opened to the public 1 month ago in Venice, San Marco Square, the project by David Chipperfield in Assicurazioni Generali Insurance, that made an incredible restoration, and the technical structures are not visible, and it was a great project. So the relation between innovation and research, it's a very important topic.
Yes, actually, I have admired for a long time the university, who is also training and making workshops in the field of neuroscience and in many fields, which opens up Venice as a field that embraces innovation and everything that is new and it's on the table. Yes. So yes, I have personally admired this openness.
Great. It's also important to know that in Italy, the 20% of the buildings in Italy are historic buildings. So the main part of the work of an architect in Italy is restoration. We have a lot naturally of new architecture, but reuse and restoration is the main core, the main business of the main part of Italian architects.
In all the reports from European Association of Architecture, or I don't know the exact name, but in the main reports, Italian architects are with the highest numbers in all statistically. How is to have a country so fully infused with architects thinking, and I think that a critical mass have been developed, and architects they are raising the standards in everything, I guess. Even they are not working as architects in practice, but the training of architect itself is and going to the general public is raising the standards in everything.
Yes, it's true. In reality, in Italy there are 157,000 of architects. In Italy, we have, in Veneto, my region, we have 2.6 architects each 1,000 of inhabitants. So the architects are really a lot. But in Italy, architects have a strong level of specialization when they go out from the university, but it's a very versatile populations. So architects can do public relations, can teach, can make architect. A lot of architects works for public administration in Italy and for the historical offices that are involved in restoration. We have very strong offices that in Italy are called sovrintendenze, and a lot of architects work on there. But anyway, Italian architects are incredible, versatile, they can find their specific field and they can work in it. In reality, there is a big difference between Italian architects and other architects, above all in Germany or in England, where the offices of architects are factories. Maybe 100 architects, 50 architects, 30.
But in Italy there are more
in Italy, the medium studio is 1.6 person.
So that's very interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting. They are very small in Italy. Like in Cyprus.
Cyprus, like in Italy, we are considered to have a very large analogy of architects in terms of the population. So Cyprus is a little bit over than 1 million as a population, but we have 3,500 registered architects, and those are only the registered architects. You have other architects that are working that are not registered, that are employees or so they're employees usually of offices.
It's a very popular field of study.
Of course, I think the popularity derives from the fact that once you finish as an architect, you have many options that you can do whatever you want. You can do interior design, you can do industrial design, furniture design, you can be an architect, you can deal with restorations, you can deal with new buildings, you can be a facade architect. There are many things that you can do, and I think because of the large number of architects that we have in Cyprus, like in Italy, in terms of analogy, the level of design is quite high. And it helps this a lot. We also have 4 schools of architecture in Cyprus, which is still quite a lot. One of them is the public school of the University of Cyprus, and then you have 3 private schools for architecture, and they're all very high level. A lot of architects, when they graduate, because they know that there's a large number of members in this profession, they leave and they go abroad to work for a few years and come back. and we get to see some really talented younger generation of architects that come back experienced,
infused with new
with new ideas, new technologies. So and people also. You can see them focusing on different sectors, as you said. And I think restoration, reuse, and renovation is one sector that is going to boom in Cyprus very soon. I think we have no choice, especially because we have now a new VAT regulation for building houses. So up to now, up to 200 square meters, you could pay only 5% VAT. But now the European Union has dropped this square meters area much lower. They told us it has to be 130 because in general the houses in Cyprus were quite large. So since a person cannot build a house 130 square meters, then the new generation will opt for buying an existing house to renovate, or an apartment in an older block to renovate. So that's why, and I think this is good because we're not expanding our cities too much. We're redeveloping old tissue of the cities, and we're rejuvenating the urban areas, which is quite good.
Quite good.
That's a good reason as an architect to visit Cyprus for this patrimonio.
Yes.
And
well, if you think about it, Andrea, we have a project from Zaha Hadid, which is one of
and I know that Christos Passas, who is one of our guests, and I have talked to him especially about this project in Cyprus.
It's a fascinating project because it juxtaposes the old ancient monument of the Venetian walls of the old city of Nicosia with the new proposal of the Eleftheria Square, and it takes advantage of the moat in a beautiful way, and it gives fresh air to the community to use it there. Before this project, people would not go there. Now with the new proposal, you see a lot of people, you can see parents with their children going for walks with their dogs, bicyclists. So this is what we need. We need like an injection of fresh air into the older tissue of the city.
In different ways, different parts of the city
to
attract tourists. Yes, I personally admire very, very much Christos Passas, and he as I have seen, he from time to time he link something to Cyprus.
No, he's very proud. He's also from Famagusta, so we have a great relationship. We're good friends. Right. And also we have a project from Jean Nouvel as well, the Jean Nouvel Tower, which is right above the Eleftheria Square. So, and a lot of architects, prominent architects are coming now to Cyprus to make projects. There's a big development now in Cyprus in terms of residential development, in terms of commercial. So after the crisis, the financial crisis that hit us in 2012, 13, 14, now we have a boom of need for either to house people or to create offices for people, which is very good. And this is helping local architects as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Should be a beautiful place to come. I've never been.
It has really nice weather conditions. It's a warm climate. It's you can now if you go to Cyprus now, it's about around 28, 30 degrees Celsius. 30. So it's still summer.
Yes,
so
we can move during winters here, which are very, very tough. So that's incredible that we are. As you have seen in the beginning, the Sher family, which is something I like to relate to because as a newcomer in this family, I have seen the links that have been developed during time between architects and associations from different countries, which is incredible to link us and reconnect us as we are as a profession to be more stronger at the international level, but also, as you can see on this map, this Eastern European and Central Eastern European corpus, its strengths, its connections.
Yeah, it's an international connection. Yes, definitely.
That's very important to make this connection with this part of Europe because we share a big part of our culture, and I feel very close to the culture of the South Central Europe. Because the culture is the same and the architectural heritage is the same. So.
Yes.
It's very important. I've been several times also in other countries in the south of Europe, like Bosnia, like Slovenia, or maybe Bulgaria. It's a great relationship.
They are not so well represented on websites and publications because that's the power of communicating architecture, which is not so well represented in this part of the Europe. But otherwise, the good architecture and is here, and we should be aware of each other. Yes.
Definitely.
So, in the end of this interesting discussions that we found more about Cyprus and about Venice, also with your invitation to come back, and definitely we will come back. I would like you to tell us a few words to those watching us, and a message that you would like to address to the younger architects or young architects who are joining the profession right now. And maybe an advice or a thought that you'd like to share with them.
I would say for the younger generation of architects, they've chosen a great profession. They have an option to go into different sectors, but remember, they need to remember that they've chosen this because they love it. And if you really want to achieve your goals, I think it's important to have a vision of what you want to do in architecture. And of course, it's not a one-way street. You know, it's like a wave. You try to ride the wave to the best you can. You adjust yourself to keep your balance. You might move into different positions every time according to what an opportunity gives you. So you need to grab the opportunities when you see them. And I think you need to work hard. If you work hard and try to take advantage of these opportunities that are given to you, whether they are architectural competitions, whether they are to take part of to be an employee for an office, whether to be to be able to participate into different workshops, grab these opportunities, work hard with honesty and with humility, and I can guarantee you that you can achieve your goals and your vision in the future. Yes.
Interesting thought to be shared with the younger generation.
I'm totally agree with Alkes, because our profession, it's a great profession, and above all, architects work for the society, for the civil society, to give beautiful buildings for people, because people need to live in the beauty. And very often we forget that beauty is a big part.
Dostoevsky said
that
beauty will save the world.
Yes, beauty is the main dimension in which we can live. But in our cities all around the world, above all in the 70s and in the 80s, we forget this idea. And architects can do something special for human people and for the beauty.
We can improve the world, definitely, with our work.
And also for the architects, it's a very rewarding profession.
Yes. It's an important profession that people normally don't realize as so important. Also in Italy, the concept of architecture, not very often it's so well known, and also
that's a surprise to hear that.
Yes, it's a surprise, because we have so big, important historical architect heritage, but the culture of the project it's not promoted sometimes also by the Italian government, because in Italy architects are a lot, and in the Italian law, architect, it's architecture, it's a service. If you go in France, they have a law to defend the architecture, and the architecture is an invention. In Italy, it's a service. We have to change this idea, this vision. We are working with our National Council to write a new law to protect the architecture. I'm working also in the national group writing this law. We have written the new text of the law, and now is to the Parliament for maybe for voting.
Yes, yes.
We hope so. This is very important to change the future of our cities.
I agree. Sorry, go ahead, Andrea.
Please,
No, I just wanted to say that I agree, Roberto. I think in order for us to give the opportunity for younger generations to flourish, we need to have correct regulations in terms of the legislation. Yeah, so we're trying to do that with the Cyprus Architects Association, the Technical Chamber of Cyprus, somehow to regulate the profession so that architects are raised to a very high level to where they deserve to be.
Yeah.
Either whether they are the fees that they receive, whether the fees are correspondent to the responsibilities that an architect has. All of these things we're trying to put it down, and I think we're on a really good path for this.
And together we are stronger.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes, with this thought, I will thank you so much for your presence here.
Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you to you.
Hope to have an enjoyable stay here.
Very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.